Shalom and Yahusha, Yasharal, Barakav Yahusha, YAHUAH YAHUSHA. Just want to put you on an app that I found. A lot of y'all probably know about this. It's the Hebrew app, but if you haven't, maybe some of you haven't, but I just wanted to show it here because maybe some of y'all think it's hard to mess with it, or how can that benefit me? This is like my way. I've been messing with it for 15 minutes, sort of like a child that starts grabbing a hold of blocks and trying to figure out where they go in their place. You get focused and just spend time with it. We're like children right now, and I feel like Yahuwah wants us to learn the Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew. So literally the Ruach spoke to me since I took an oath just yesterday to be a Natsarym, a Natsar. All of a sudden he's putting these new thoughts in my mind about what that's about. And he just put in my mind, learn some Paleo Hebrew. And so it is a Ruach, it's a mindset, it's an in-depth, deeper walk, halakha, in Yahusha. And so so I looked up this Paleo Hebrew, thing. Let me see if I can, but just look that up. I went into the App Store, and it's free, open it up. And so you might be like, I don't understand what any of this is. What's cool about it, this is the original ancient Paleo, but notice what it's doing. It's actually doing the ancient to the modern. And I remember I downloaded this a long time ago when I was a young buck, when I first, came into the walk. It was first opening my eyes, but I didn't even have the full understanding of what a Natsarym was. I just remember people calling them that, and I understood that it meant that they were the branches of Yahusha. It means branches, but also means watchmen. The word watchman actually in Hebrew translates into the word Natsarym. It's the same word for branches too. So we're not just branches of Yahusha, which is awesome. That's what we want to be, bearing the fruit, producing the fruit. But we're also the watchmen. We have to he gives us the knowledge in the Torah and the Ruach to understand things that people don't see, and to call it out, try to correct them as loving as possible until the kingdom is established. And then I think at that point we will be given authority for teachers with authority under Yahusha to really teach, to really kind of show and live it. But you want to start learning this now, because this is part of what Yahusha is doing to select who he's going to appoint for, like, elders like Kohanim and governors and sovereigns and things like that. Those who are trying to prepare themselves for that now. And, just like America is a law, you want to be a lawyer, a president, or something, a governor, you got to study law. They're usually lawyers first. And so that's something we do for Yahuwah's kingdom. We study the Torah. He opens up our eyes, gives us a Ruach understanding. And a part of that Torah is even the Hebrew Paleo language, the understanding. Because I believe, I'm convicted that that's what we're going to be speaking, when he returns. It won't be English, it'll be Hebrew. And so let that sink in. I know the Kodash Ruach just pulled out, so that you might pour it out so you can understand that, receive that. So it shows up in the modern, which is cool, because we should know the modern first to reverse engineer, right? Reverse engineering is taking things and going backwards through time. You take apart a car to figure out how a car is made. So we're taking apart from the original, or from the modern that we're at now, to get to the ancient. And if you notice what I just did there, so basically it says Hebrew to Phoenician, because what this is doing is Phoenician, what they call Paleo Phoenician, to the modern. But I don't even know so much the Paleo or Phoenician myself like that. I do understand, however, the modern to Phoenician, which is where I'm at now, because I used to study these words or letters to learn Hebrew. So again, you can go to Phoenician to Hebrew, or it's just giving you the options, or Phoenician to Phoenician. Even if you already know Phoenician, that's the goal you want to be at, where you just da to the Kodashim. You want to eventually be able to write in Paleo Hebrew. And so where I'm at with this is, you want to be able to speak to, people that understand modern Hebrew too, Jewish people and whoever, there's a lot of Messianics, but be able to understand their language and then reverse it to like we speak to each other, the more Paleo version. But it's just because that's what you're going to see more of in the mainstream world, so you want to understand that. So it's cool because you can do that. You can switch Phoenician to Hebrew, Phoenician to Phoenician. So because right now we're on modern Hebrew to Phoenician, that's why you don't see that option. So let's say like I wanted to say Shalom, right? I know that's this letter. I know the letters in the modern. Shalom. But it's good because wherever you're at, it'll give you an understanding of both. Because you should know both. Shalom. And then Ba is like the word in. Ba. Shalom in. And then space. Yahusha. And this took me a while to play with it too. Because I'm like writing it literally like Yahusha. See, I forgot the yod. Alright, let me do it. Yahoo. Shut up and Aleph. Because I gotta study more like on this matter of, these two letters, the Aleph and this ayin here, both make like the same sound. So I'm gonna look more, see what the difference is. But that's it. Shalom ba Yahusha in the Paleo Hebrew, but I wrote it from the modern, and I wanted to write mashpaka. Thing is, I remember it's like people say mish, but I mean it's literally just MSH. So where are you getting mish? Because in the Paleo Hebrew understanding, if you have two strong letters like that, the vowel that goes in between them is just an ah. Everything was like a, ba, ga, da, fa, la, ha, all that kind of thing. So it should be mash. And then the letter P, pa. And then I was like, man, how do you spell it again? And so I had to look at it, and I found this video. And like, I'm just kind of taking you towards like what I'd be doing, Actually, I went to, I usually go to Hebrews for Christians. And thing is, the app wasn't working. Yep, still not working. And that sort of like was a witness that Yahuwah was trying to let me know, you don't really want me to put my whole trust in that, because they have that modern, but then they have like these like mystical understandings of what the letters mean based on the modern. And he was like, nah, don't focus on the modern, So I'm like, okay. So I typed in, how do you spell mashpaka in Hebrew? And there it is. There's the letters, right? That's the MSH is like one letter, the sha, the ma, sha, pa, and then it's the cha, the ch and the h, the it's just like, like doesn't really have a sound in a way. It's like what you hear in Yahuwah, Yahuwah. People try to gutter the ha, the hey, and make it Yah, like Yahuwah or something, but there's no h there. It's not a h. It's just Yah, and it's almost like a breath of fresh air, silence. Yah, YAHUAH, YAHUAH. So you just hear the Yah and the YAHUAH. So it's really more accurate, Yahuwah, Yahuwah. And it has that more like what you hear. You just gotta use context clues of history. You just gotta use context clues of history, man. Because in Africa, what do you hear them say? You hear them talk like, ooh, like, Yahuwah. You can hear that. Not to make fun, but like, I just think like Middle Eastern and the way things were said then, I could definitely see a Yahuwah, because there's like a ooah, kind of thing going on. Yahuwah. Or you could say Yahuwah, Yahu. Because there you get your H and your U sounding out, just making it strong. Yahuwah, 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 Yahuwah. Yeah, you can hear all of it there. Yahuwah. Some people might say Yahuwah, 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 Yahuwah. Yeah, I like Yahuwah, Yahuwah. Because then you get the, but it's not a like YAHUAH, like YAHUAH, like you're guttering a word that should not be guttered. Some people do that, and it gets confusing. But it's Yah. If you're gonna say it like that, it should be like YAHUAH, YAHUAH, like no gutter. YAHUAH should be clean. YAHUAH, YAHUAH said YAHUAH. But then that draws you too close to gutter it, so it'd be like YAHUAH. So that would like push you into the realm of being a YAHUAH, not YAHUAH, because YAHUAH can get you too close to guttering it. YAHUAH, YAHUAH. Unless you just say YAHUAH, YAHUAH, YAHUAH. But then people want to use like a W, but yeah, it's a U, because what's a W? It's just a U times 2. Double U. So people be putting U and W. I'm like, why do you got 3 U's? You just need 1. YAHUAH. YAHUAH. However you want to say it. So, anyways, I see the letter here. Mash. That upside down looking G thing, that's the pay or the pa, which is it's kind of like a PH, like a P, like a, some people even say it like a F. Like when, that's why we say like there's no F, there's PH, because if you think of PH, if you soften a P, it's like, it's really an F, P, F. It's like take a F and like slow motion, it's like P, like a F. It's you play with that, but mash pa or fa, but it's more of a pa. I guess you can make it an F, but it's really supposed to be a PH, if that makes sense. I don't know. Mashpa. Like a soft P. Mashpa, mashpa, mashpa. Mashpa or mashpa, mashpa. And then that second to the last word there is the het. That's the glitter word. The ha. Which looks almost like the the but it's a ha. So mashpa ha. You hear that at the end? Mashpa ha. It just captures the ending with the breath of Yah, That's why you see that in Yahuwah's name. It's like Yah. Ooh. Praise Yah. So meditate on that for a while. So Mashpa Kha. Mashpa Kha. Mashpa Kha. Mashpa Kha. Mashpa Kha. Kha. That one's the Kha. You do with your throat. Mashpa Kha. So yeah, I don't say Mish because there's no Y there in the middle. It's just M-A-S-H. And then I saw a video to click that. That's how I got to, I was going to YouTube now. So I'm like, let me check this out.
This week's word is mishpacha. Mishpacha means family. Mishpacha. Let's say this word together. Mish.
Mash.
Pa.
Pa.
Cha.
Cha.
Mishpacha.
Mashpacha.
Mishpacha family.
Mashpacha clan.
הילדים באים נוצרת משפחה, כן משפחה כל כך נוחה, עם קצת דמיון בין בת לבין לאם.
We hope you're having a great kites summer kites with your mishpacha family. Mishpacha.
Yeah, our kites just ended. And that's just part of the journey of learning Hebrew and all that. You're just playing with this. You're just watching me in my journey. I'm just like, let me film how I be just looking up things. And so then I go back here and I'm like, okay, that's how it's spelled, right? So then I'm like, see. Just got to take your time like a baby. You really got to imagine you're a baby who has all the time in the world. And Yahuwah, may He give you time to just sit there and play with this like a baby till you start to learn the language and all that. You know what I mean? You just got to take patience. It just takes patience like a baby playing with something all day, every day. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the modern. And I know the letters. Mash, pa, ha. I keep hearing and I keep hitting A, so I'm kind of there, because there's no, see, if we inserted A vowels, there'd be a whole lot of A's in between this, but it's like a silent, like it's an unknown, it's like silent, because Yahuwah is unseen. It's like an unseen A. I don't want to say silent, because it's there. You hear it, mashpacha, but it's unseen, like Yahuwah is unseen, holding everything together. That's why the aleph goes between all the letters. Feel me? So we're gonna write this again. And real quick, I want to teach real quick on something. The three C's, and I'll probably make this another independent or small video, but I feel like I'll incorporate it. There's 3 letters that make like a C sound that people get confused on, and that's not the H. We're gonna leave that out. We're talking about the Ha. Again, that's the Ha. And if you want to know what letter I'm using there, it's gonna be that letter. Oh, a definition to Phoenician. Ha. That letter. And then there's Ka. Now, this one is gonna always be easy to remember. This is the letter right here that it's a dead giveaway. It looks like a C in the modern Hebrew. It looks like a K in the Paleo Hebrew. It must be a K, right? And but it is on Hebrew. This is the hard K sound, you know. And it looks like a C, like we have cat, right? Cut, you know. And in the Paleo Hebrew, it looks like a K. So even English is stealing these stuff from the Paleo Hebrew. Now let me ask you this: you gotta really think, why is English stealing all kinds of things from the Hebrew? It's all hidden in there. Everything about the English has a lot of Hebrew hidden in there and like mixed things. Why? Because we may not understand, but everything has energy, everything has power, everything has a ruach. And so people that say it doesn't matter how we say things or pronounce things, it does. There's power in words and incantations. English could not exist unless it had stolen some power from the letters of the Hebrew and the pronunciations and their ruach, like the meaning, the power that was given to those letters and their invocation for meaning and things like that. Does that make sense? It's like everything is like spells, right? That's why like every time you see movies with, like there's power in words, like they're always in the Mummy reading, like opening a spell book, like to break a curse or put a curse on somebody. It's through a book that has spells. And that is just prophetic of every book you read. If you read whatever you read, it's going to have some kind of like power, a spirit, a ruach or something that's behind what you're reading, a mindset behind the letters, behind the wording. Like if you go into Scientology, they have their own vocabulary. They use postulation and putting ethics on somebody, and there's a certain way that they speak. Like tactile for like touching. Like, oh man, yeah, that was it's tactile. I could put my hands on that, or like visio, or I don't know what, but it's like it invokes a spirit. So like, I could be in danger of invoking a spirit of Scientology just by saying that, because the Scientology spirits have to be summoned, and all that going on. Like you could say one word and a few things here and there, it's not gonna do the whole bit. But you see those movies as like they're saying the chant. It's like the letters start to glow and become brighter and brighter until they say that whole phrase. It's not just a word, but a whole thing, and then the phrase with the like an aman, so be it kind of thing at the end. And pew, the whole thing just like powers up, and like the power opens up. That stuff is real. That stuff is like imagery, the cosmic realms of how words operate. They're telling you that, That's why they tell you about things like, like every superhero has to have a catchphrase, and like, there's always a catchphrase, I'll be back, because these things like, signify the strength of that person's power and invokes that power to in that way. But I'm not going to get too much into that, but English has a lot of Hebrew in it, and so they can't make up really their own language just like that without having some of the stuff that has the power, the truth, to make their language, to shape their culture with power. And so they took a lot of the original Hebrew letters, English, and made up their own that's mixed, right? Gotta have that mixed multitude, that mixture, not mixed multitude, but mixture of good and evil, like good, like two, what is perfect and has strength, and mix it with, diverse things, so you can build your own kind of system, kingdom thing out of it. Thus, English, a witchcraft language of powers and spells, was born. That's why they call it spelling. Why do they call it spelling? Why don't they call it, you know, uh, writing words? Let me write the words, or write a word. How do you write the words? Like, how do you write it? Or like, why don't they call it writing? How do you write it? You know what I'm saying? There you go, write it. Like, what? See how the delusion is so strong? Like, like, oh yeah, how does that word written? Like, it could have just been the word written alone, but why is the word spelling in there? Because it has to bring that word into the equation to make that language, that those words have powers to cast spells. You see what I'm saying? So now that word spell is associated with the English language altogether, with all the letters and the words. It's like writing a program, right? Like computer programmers write all this stuff and equations and all these things to program, like the software or whatever that they're putting into it. It's all embedded in there. It's coded. You don't see it. Well, when the word spelling, and the origins of it comes from, word incantations and magic powers and things to invoke powers and mighty ones through words and all that, is incorporated as a part of the English, language. Then the whole English language has now been coded with spells. You see what I'm saying? It has now been embedded in the English language with the ability to cast spells just by speaking words. So, but in this sense, we see that the word, the K sound in Hebrew is the same letter. Oh, I have to get back to you later. I'm so sorry. We see that the K sound in Hebrew is the same letter that you see in English, right? In Hebrew and in English. English took the same letter, like the same way it looks, from Hebrew, and even the Paleo Hebrew, right? Because if we go just one more back, boom, that's the Paleo Hebrew for the K sound. Same as our C and K, right? C and K is the K sound, and it's the same thing. Now notice these things are backwards. Man, how many of y'all seen the movie? I just saw the what is it? Black Adam. Black Adam, like, it said something like, "In death you live," but what it turned out that it was written from the demonic realm was like some portal that's like a mirror reflection. Like in the other cosmic realms, it's just like a mirror reflection through the portal. So like they have to write things backwards. And look how our K is backwards from the English K. So that tells you. You see what I'm saying? Like, these things, it's not hard to figure out. If you just hear what the Ruach has to say when you observe it, take your time and ponder on these things. I'm receiving these things right now as I'm looking at it. And then look, even the C is backwards, right? Yeah, I'm like trying to spell out the C. The C's backwards and the K's backwards. But in Hebrew, it's supposed to be this way, and it's supposed to be right to left, not left to right, written the opposite way. They're trying to make a mirror reflection to make the spell that codes embeds like a demonic powers to open up portals. Man, that's why we can't be writing English. You see what I'm saying? Even just writing CK and back, we're writing Hebrew backwards. Man, this should go viral. And it's probably, sadly, only a remnant's going to see it. It's one of those remnant things. Those who have patience to endure to the end, to hear everything out, will be getting this wisdom. But see, when you take the C, that letter, and, in that letter, the K sound, those are Hebrew letters. And look how they're backwards from the English. No, it's not that. The Hebrew's backwards, the English is backwards. But look, see how it's that direction? It's right to left, right? And wow. And yeah, I mean, y'all see this. That's the K sound for the modern and the Paleo, a C and a K. facing the opposite direction, and we're literally looking at the letter that they used to embed the coding of opening the portal, to make it possible for the spells to work, is through the letter Ka, through the Hebrew Ka, the C and the K from the modern Paleo. For some reason, YAHUAH allowed it to work in both ways, but YAHUAH wants us to focus on what it looks like, in the Paleo Ka. You know what I'm saying? So he's drawing us back to that. All right. Hope that's making sense. And so a lot of these letters do that. Let me see, the L, the Lamed. Look at that. I've learned a lot. Who's been letting me know like that can even be like a nose. Like the nose is the shepherd's staff, and a nose that leads and goes forward with the staff of a shepherd staff. But anyways, enough about that. So, long story short, that's how I learned how to spell Shalom Ashbaka. Oh, and then the 3 Khas, that's the Kha, which should actually be, I wonder if it'll let me do this. Oh yeah. That is so cool. Alright. So that, look at that, I'm teaching a class, is also, man, see, I'm going to print this. Oh dang, it won't let me do both. But you see what I'm saying? Hold on. So, what's that I'm trying to do? Phoenician to Hebrew. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That is a Kha. I put KH because a CH, I mean, it's just confusing. Don't you think, like, I don't know, when I see CH, I think chicken automatically. So I'm like, Ruach, Sriracha, when it should be like Sirach. When they put that CH at the end of Sirach, they weren't putting, Sriracha. We're thinking, see how that messes up, oh man, they be messing up my black folk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because black folk, they, like Dave Chappelle said it best. He, like, how black people be like pronouncing their languages, like their letters in a funny way. But more or less, y'all stick to the program, like in a way where, like, you have that English mindset, right? So you're gonna see Sirach and you're gonna say Sriracha, But I want to encourage you to play with how these words are supposed to sound, and, like, be free. You're free from that yoke of bondage of the traditions of man, and let the Ruach teach you. That's the difference between the Natsarym and, like, people who are under, like, things that are man-made teachings that man is teaching out there. But yeah, I put KH because I understand K is always gonna be a K sound, and with the H, that's gonna be like K, right? Like K, K. So that's what that is. And then let me see if again I can get the letter and put that this way. We also got, what else makes a K sound? The C, which is, like the same thing. Speaking of witchcraft, incantation, and all that kind of thing, how about we take back our letter? Yeah, let me not do the mirror of that. But that was actually the opposite. But yeah, CK, right? Or C, that way I separate it. Well, there you go. That's sort of what I'm talking about. Like, the English C is a mirror reflection of the Hebrew C, and that's like the portal. That's the code that opens up. You know what I'm saying? That through the invention of the English language, it's witchcraft to like write English, and so that's why I don't really like messing with it like I'm doing now. But this is our reverse engineering: is the understanding and then getting the heck out. So there's your H or your K, which that's why you see me spell Ruach with a K, but now I'm putting the KH so people aren't confused. It's like a Ruach, ruach. Or you can still say ruach. Ruach. Yeah, well, you can get to ruach because now he's taking the ka out of me for that. Ruach. Ruach. Like ruach. 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 So the ruach, yeah, you can still kind of make it a K. Just when you think about the H, you're gonna get a little bit of that in there. Ruach. And then that's the ka. No ha about it. There's no. That would be like if you were to say ruach. There you go. Hear that strong K? Ruach. Like that one, you throw it. Cat. 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 No, you cat. Cat. Ka. K. Gotcha. Ka. Ka. That's your ka. Not your ha. Ruach. 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 Ka. Ruach. 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 Yeah. And then that letter is your strong C, which you would have in a word like, shoot, which word has that? That's what I should have done. Oh, mashpaka has that letter, right? Yeah. Mashpa. No, that's Kha. Yeah. I gotta think which letter has that. And then your other word that's gonna be like in the C family is the kuf. Okay. And I forgot what they call these other letters, but that's the kuf right there. And guess what letter that be like? That's the Q. It looks like a Q, right? Because it's Hebrew. That's going to be similar to your Q. Boom. There you go. Another mirror reflection. And they have the U. Oh. Yeah. Delete. So yeah. So again, the kuf, ironically, always rides with the U. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said kuf. Kuf. Right? Q. Alright, let's try and put the Q in the middle. There you go. That's how they are in common. And now we're doing that spell. See, we just undid all them spells. So, kuf. Kuf, that's where you get the word kadash. I'm saying. Kudash. Right? And look how the Q looks similar in the capital Q and the Paleo Q. Same thing. This is how I play. Now I'm playing with it, but this was already in my mind. I was playing with it but now praise Yah, this app allows me to play with everything together. Look at that. That's the same Paleo Q. That's the Paleo Q. That's why, for those of you who are very new, wait, what is that letter? How can we just switch to it? I don't understand. All right, that's the Paleo Q. And all I did was the modern Q looks like the lowercase q. That's the modern day Hebrew Q. Right? But I'm hitting that last little bottom left one in the corner and it's translating it. But look how it looks like a Q in English. Because they had to have power. These words, in order for these words to have any kind of chai and power, in order for English to have chai and power to make effect in the world, it's a witchcraft language, or it has a lot of Yahuwah's power in there. They had to use what was Kadash. See what I'm saying? That's why world words, no, they matter. So you look at the capital Q, right? And it's the same thing. Let's see. Boom. That's the Phoenician Paleo Hebrew Q. English took it. Boom. See? Now, what does this mean? The original Q, I believe what the Ruach told me, is a picture of an eye that sees straight. But to pervert it in the programming, in their version of Kadash, they take that and make it an eye to see crooked. See what I'm saying? That's why it's the dash going through the eye is slanted, because it's a crooked eye that doesn't see straight. Not that it's a crooked eye, but it's an eye that does not see straight. So you need to see straight. Okay? So let me try to take that back. Boom. So, okay, let me write it out. Kudash. Boom. Right? Is like this. Cool. Now I don't put no ooh in there, because that's not what's in there. It's just the word, the letter Q already has the U. Like in English, right? They tell us the Q is married to the U. That's from Hebrew. It's already cool. Otherwise, there would be no need for this letter, because they already have a K sound. But it's specifically mostly for Ku, right? Ku, and then there's Ha and Ka. But you don't need to put the U in there. It's not how it's spelled in Hebrew. It's spelled Ka or Ku. And then you have the Dalet, Da, Ku, Da. And you don't even have an A there either. Like, it's not like Kuda. Like, they don't spell out everything, every sound. It's just the main letters. It's just Q, D, and SH. And that right there is Kudash. You know, that's how I spell Kudash. So, basically, there's like an A in between. No, it's cool to teach. Kudash. You know what I mean? There's like an, but this one's like a U. There you go. Oh. Kudash. Ku. Two Ku for school. Alright. I like this. I'm gonna figure out, I'm gonna get more organized on teaching, but yeah, that's how you spell Kudash, which is the same as, which is Kudash. Alright? Sorry. Kudash. In Hebrew, it's like, you're just seeing that. Right? It's those three letters. And then you insert the U, the A, Kudash. There you go. Just did a little Hebrew lesson right there. Kudash. Alright? Praise Yah. And so that's your three K sounds. Again, we got the Ch, and I guess that's like a ladder or a gate or something. Ch. I ain't climbing that. Ch. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. And then the K, kite, Ku. That thing, Ku. You know what I'm saying? The letter K just Ku like that. But it looks like a C in the modern, so that's the K sound. That's the K sound. My bad, I'm not trying to confuse out the QU. I'm just saying it's cool, like, yeah, like it's awesome. Alright, so the Ch, and the K, which looks like a C and a K, so that's how you know it's a K. The Ch looks like, what in the world is that? It looks like the hey, the in the alphabet, but with like, interesting, actually, because I noticed that the is the same letter as the H, but the H, even in the Paleo, they look alike. The H has the, you see, it looks like a comb or whatever. It's got the handle with the three things. And in the other picture, it's got the handle with the three things, but it's got like another line on the other end or something, like to, hold it together. So, something to meditate. That means something. But then even if you look at it in the modern, it does the same thing. They look similar, and it does the exact same thing where I'm going to have to leave this page. So screenshot that if you want. Just screenshot that. I mean, this is just how I learn, man. I just play with it. This is how my thoughts are. And, we got to take your time and think on these things like that. So look at that. There's the H. There's the and then there's the H. Same thing like we just looked at. You know what I'm saying? The other one, it was like an unfinished gate, and then this one's finished up. It I guess it kind of in a way shows that it's adding like an extra to the, But what they mean, I don't know yet, But it's something being like adding distortion to it, right? It's like the same letter, but one's a and then one's a maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's this letter in a Ruach way being added to it to make, that letter. I don't know. Something to meditate on your own. But yeah. So again, we have, I'm going to throw that in there actually. The H. And then there's Kha. And then there's Ka. Hey, I love it. It gets stronger each time. Kha. Or Ha. Kha. Ka. And Ko. Hey, and look how they're similar. There's a story that is being told about these things. We just don't see it. The H, it's open. Ventilation. Right? The air just goes through. The other one, gets clogged up or something. And then the K is like maybe that door that was shut that caused it to get clogged up and K. But then the K, the door hinge that made the H go The K is like that corner that was added to the corner to make the H go but it was from the K. And then that K, that's a ooh. Oh my goodness, I just saw it. That letter is the K and the ooh together. Guys, we're doing breakthroughs right now as we speak. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Then the K got with the letter, that letter right there, ooh. But it's like, notice it pushed them in so they can merge and become one to make the letter, Ku. Because these letters are alive, y'all. But that little stick got pushed in there and made the Ku. Because it's a ooh, like shalom. This little stick thing. Because the letters are all backwards. See, I'm writing Hebrew and English. Yeah. We're on something right now. I'm glad I'm doing this for those who are like, wanting to go deep. No. Okay. So we have from right to left, Ha, Ka, or I'm sorry, Ha Ca, because of this. That's what I need to do. Guys, it's not as easy. Alright, so we have Ha, and then came in the Ka, and made that thing there Ha. Yep, Ha and Ka made Ha. We're going left, right to left. Ha and Ka made Ha. And then Ha and I'm sorry, no, make okay. Ha and Ka made Ha, and Ka and U made Ku. That letter right there, this little stick, is the same. That's the UA. When I say U, that's the UA. That's the Wa. What they say Wa. But if you take Wa and slow motion it, you're actually saying Ooh. Wa. You're actually saying ooh first. It's not like Wa, like it's just this one W thing by itself. It's a double U. Wa is really from Ua. Ua. Right? Ua. That's what you're saying when you say Wa. You're just saying Ua real fast or stronger. So Ua becomes a Wa, W, because I guess they want the U to be heard more, if you want to look at it that way, in that kind of, Ruach, spiritual dimensional word, letter incantation, giving it high. But, high, that's amazing, because high, the word high is like the breath of high, but it's the breath, right? It's like the, but it's because it's got substance to it, so it's high, because it's got breath and body, that's how I'm saying it right now. So it's high, and then the letter I in there, Yod, is like an ascension, right? Because if you look at the ayin, it's symbolized to I think it's symbolizing ascension, because it looks like a hand pointing up, like reaching up. Looks like we'll do that another time. But the ayin, what's the O? Maybe over the world, I don't know, like high, like over, like to inherit the earth forever, in the paleo. But in the modern, it's like, I don't know. I have to meditate that another day. But right now, the Ruach is giving me Ha and Ka. Ha and Ka make Cha. And then Ka and U. This is what's in Shalom, Yahuwah. It's Yahu, the U in Yahuwah, the U in Shalom. Well, Ka and U, we see them together here, make Ku. These two go. I need to stop messing with this. I'm just trying to get rid of this space. Those two come together, see what I'm saying? All I'm trying to show is that these two come together to make that guy right there. See what I'm saying? And that makes it cool. That's pretty cool. So there's something to the modern Hebrew that shows some power in there too. But Yahuwah's trying to get us to reverse engineer some of these things to get us back to the Paleo. So again, I'm going to compare this to Ha. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way around. So that's Ha. That's Ka. Yep, just gotta play with it. There you go. Ha Ca Kha. Ha Ca Kha. Cool. And those are your Ha Ca sounds, your Ha sounds. Everything from the softness to its hardness. To Ka to Ha to Ku. Cool. Cool. Hallelujah. That's cool dash. Praise Yah. Shalom, shalom, Yahshua. Shalom, shalom, mashpaka. Shalom, shalom. Love you.